ladies and gentlemen, we've been in Rotterdam this week at StocExpo, looking at where is the investment going in the storage terminals market. And specifically, we've had great insight into the Arrow region, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Antwerp, and we're delighted to have a special guest, Peter Geertse from the North Sea ports, talking about the emerging hydrogen and ammonia market. Sit back, listen, enjoy to this two-part episode. This is looking at the financial side, and also out this week we have a motorsport special with Lewis Hamilton's brother, Nicholas Hamilton. So, before we look at what all the investment stories were coming out of Rotterdam, we just want to say that if you're interested in investing in the podcast, on the 21st of May, we're having a Partners Day where it's ending up with a discussion with our partners, looking at where the Wolfe Power Club's going in the next 12 months. And then we are hearing from the former Energy Minister, Charles Hendry. If you'd like to come and receive an invite for the 21st of May, please contact in the show notes below, Amelia at wolfepowerclub.com, and we can sort out you coming to that with intentions to look at how the Wolfe Power Club grows in 2025. So, what happened in the investment stories? Well, essentially, it was all about the mergers and acquisitions and the future of terminals, as well as the growth of the hydrogen and ammonia market. So, as we approach StocExpo, there's an incredible coastline along the Netherlands of this Arrow region of Amsterdam, Rotterdam and Antwerp, where you have some of the largest chemical storages, fuel storages, and essentially refinery businesses in the whole of the world. And StocExpo gives an opportunity for that world to bring itself together once a year, and it was celebrating 20 years. But the big announcement almost came in the very, very first morning. And that's when LBC Tank Storage Terminals announced the significant news that essentially the pension funds that had owned it since 2012 were actually all selling up, and instead a Japanese investment firm, which is one of the largest shipping firms in the world, the Mitsui O.S.K. Lines, is buying the storage terminal facility. What that did at the week was, I think, give it a huge amount of optimism. Essentially a move away from owners that are looking at a pure financial investment to new ownership structure that's looking to integrate it into one of the biggest shipping of chemicals, LNG and other substances around the world in the energy sector. And it was great to see that Japanese investment into European infrastructure, but also what it does is it allows them to also invest in American infrastructure, because LBC, between the States and the Netherlands, has 7 terminals in total. So it would give them opportunity to integrate one of the largest shipping firms in the world in chemicals and one of the largest tank storage chemicals. I think what was interesting about it was also at the show was that part of this investment divergement is that the pension companies felt they wanted to concentrate on different assets and maybe cash that's generating now. And also that I think there's a real focus now on ammonia coming one of the main sources of hydrogen. And when we go into this interview with Peter Geertse of North Ports, you will see with North Sea Ports why ammonia is such a route to hydrogen now. What was also interesting was that when the pension funds obviously acquired the terminals back in 2012, it was very much about that supporting Dutch industry and Dutch business. And although I don't think that's gone away, as they probably see that a new owner with a greater focus and a greater leverage point will give huge opportunity. The show also opened up with a financial analysis of the market. And what I think we took from it on the Wolfe Power Club is that obviously terminals really boom when the market's in contango, and we haven't seen that for some time. You know, you've got a mixture of liquid fuel prices pretty stagnant around $75, and then chemical prices, there's been some real challenges and real backwardation. However, there was masses of optimism in the room, and the reason there was masses of optimism in the room is it looks like the storage terminals model is going to take market from the refineries. And the reason that happens is the more refinery closures that are happening across the Western world, the more there is a need for storage terminals to take over and let these super refineries ship in products and ship refined products and ship ready to use in the marketplace products. So that gave a lot of hope. The other thing that gave a lot of hope is it's looking more and more like that liquid solutions and the transportation of ammonia will be actually the result of how we get to supplying hydrogen the quickest. Now, you've got to consider that the Netherlands supplies nearly 2% of the world's ammonia market, and if you look at this graph here, you'll see what a significant percentages. There's other big players such as China and Russia, but what you can see is the Netherlands is a significant part of the world ammonia economy, and it's that ammonia that allows for clean transportation of hydrogen, and it allows the opportunity of hydrogen getting into place. And we're going to concentrate on that, Peter. The other big story wasn't just LBC Terminals celebrating this new model, new ownership, and we watch this space about where the Japanese investment can take it, but was also an M&A that was 2 years further down the schedule, and that is where Vopak Terminals in the Netherlands in 2023 sold to Liquin. We were very fortunate to meet Roos Wolfensberger. She's one of the leading directors at Liquin, and she was telling how almost all the moves and structure and in placing of processes is coming to an end in that move from Vopak to Liquin, and she saw huge optimism in 2025 for Liquin being able to push on the chemical sector supply from their free terminals across Vopak and Rotterdam, and essentially that they will have the opportunity. So the clear messages coming out of StocExpo was there's new investment and new structure into the storage terminals market. There's international money coming in from Japan of people looking to actually move together the shipping industry and the storage terminal industry to even closer, and that ammonia and hydrogen could be the solution. We're now going to go straight into the interview we did at StocExpo, and we'll look at our good friend Peter Geertse, who's the commercial manager of the North Sea Port, one of the keynote speakers at the conference, and this is what I went to ask Peter. Peter Geertse had just come off the stage, and so we went straight into it. Peter, what's your role within the storage terminals economy?
Well, we as North Sea Ports are the port authority for 3 ports in northwestern Europe, 2 ports in the Netherlands, Vlissingen, Terneuzen, and 1 port in Belgium. And we are the entrance, the gateway to the European market for the future new energies.
Now, a huge part of your speech was about the significance of the hydrogen and ammonia market. Can you tell us, our listeners, about why it's a great opportunity for the North Sea Port?
Well, the advantage we have is that it's an existing market for us. We are already using close to 600,000 tons of hydrogen. Today that's all grey hydrogen and will turn into blue and green hydrogen in the future. Same goes for ammonia. We have one of the largest fertilizer plants in the world in our port who is using ammonia and transferring into green ammonia. So that makes it easier for us to convert existing cargo flows into green cargo flows and add the new developments as well.
In the Q&A part of your talk, Peter, there was much discussion about essentially the needs for pipelines, about whether they need new pipelines or old pipelines. Can you give your views on that?
Yeah, well, one of the safest and most economic ways of transport is pipeline. Especially for ammonia, I think it's you don't want to move that by truck, preferably also not by rail. So converting the ammonia into green hydrogen and move it by pipeline is the safest, the fastest and the cheapest way to do it.
There's also an exciting part that as a Netherlands, Belgium-based company, you might have great opportunity in connecting Germany to the grid system.
Yeah, one of the main future hydrogen markets is Germany, partly because of the chemical industry located there, but also they have a huge energy market. And contrary to developments in the Netherlands and Belgium, Germany is looking at ammonia as a source of energy for their gas-fired and coal-fired power plants as well. So it's a major market we are looking at, and we have an advantage that we are 2 years ahead of Rotterdam when it comes to development of the pipeline system.
You went into that the North Sea Port is 2 years ahead of Rotterdam, and you've got current customers like Yara for Norway that already use your port for ammonia. Can you tell us about why you're so ahead?
Well, more food is needed in the future for the growing world population, so more fertilizers are needed. So it's still a growing market. So fertilizers, part of the raw material fertilizers is ammonia, and hydrogen is part of the ammonia component. And so it's an existing market which will allow them also to import green ammonia from locations where there's a lot of sun, there's a lot of wind, and where we expect the import volumes are coming from.
Now, outside of the hydrogen and ammonia, what are the big commercial growth areas that you are seeing in the forthcoming year?
It's more than that. We see ammonia is a new market, especially clean ammonia, so green ammonia and blue ammonia. But also methanol is coming up, also as a bunker fuel. And for us, LNG and biogas is also very important. So it's very diversified. Also, there are new regulations coming up in the European market to blend SAF, sustainable airline fuels, into the existing jet fuels. That's also a major market. So growing from a crude oil economy to a renewable economy, there's a lot of challenges, but also opportunities for the different ports in northwestern Europe.
In 2025, how is government policy of the EU affecting the markets at the moment for your port?
It's mainly a local or a national policy. For the electrolyzers, for instance, producing green hydrogen, the electricity connection costs are higher compared to other countries. So that's really blocking the developments of electrolyzers in northwestern Europe. And in general, regulations are not yet suitable for the new market coming up. I think Europe is too slow in that. I'm not talking about subsidies, but I'm talking about the rules and regulations which will allow transportation of the new energies.
Peter, you've given us some brilliant insights today, but we have got 3 big questions to ask that we ask all of our guests is our quickfire questions. So, our first question, where are you investing time or money in the energy sector in the next 12 months?
Especially pipeline connections. We're also shareholder of PipeLink, a dedicated company to develop pipeline systems. So ammonia pipelines, but we also have to invest in new rail connections. And together with Ecoport in Germany, this floating pipeline system to the German hinterland market is also very important for us. So it's not only developing or investing money, but also investing a lot of time in connecting with the right organizations and the right people, and also with local, regional and national authorities.
Second question, where's the Dutch government, the Belgian government or EU government? What would you like them to do in the next 12 months?
Yes, harmonize all rules and regulations, harmonize pricing, subsidy schemes, and level playing field in the European market is very important for all of us, I think. And when the Dutch industries are paying 3 times more for power connection than in other countries, I think it will slow down the developments.
And our third quickfire question, I totally agree there what you're saying, because Netherlands is so important in the energy sector. What do you want customer behaviour to that could really aid the port business?
Customers, industries are in the chicken and the egg situation right now. The industries is waiting for the prices to go down of green hydrogen. The investors in green hydrogen are waiting for the industries to commit. So we really need a breakthrough there, and I think import of hydrogen carriers is the key to that, because the price of import green hydrogen and green ammonia is a little bit closer to the grey hydrogen price. So that will open up the market, and I think in the next few years, when green ammonia is flowing into the market, then the local production will follow.
Peter, I'd really like to thank you for your time today. It's been absolutely brilliant, and the Wolfe Power Club listeners have really enjoyed. So what have we learnt from StocExpo? There's significant international money coming in, that the ammonia market that's been in the Netherlands for nearly 25 years or longer can really be expanded to be the new hydrogen market. And then we've also got 2 this week, because not only have we got the business view of the mergers and acquisitions that have gone on at LBC and Vopak, But we also have this week our second one, and tune in to listen to that on our motorsport special with Lewis Hamilton's brother Nicholas about being the first cerebral palsy driver of BTC, the transition on energy, and essentially where we've also got Forza Hydrogen Racing team. So relax, listen, and get 2 podcasts this week, not just one. Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen.